Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and we're back to playing Dreamlight Valley. Now I'm just going to warn you ahead of time, this is not going to go how my old content used to go. If you were here before when I had my Harry Potter Lego videos, before I decided to change my videos to a different type of gaming style, you know that I filmed every single sequence of gameplay because I wanted to give someone a step-by-step on how to play, as well as, chat along with you guys and have a lot of fun. This is not at all supposed to be teaching. This is very much just me enjoying playing the game. And also I did a poll with you guys on TikTok, and y'all said that you versus like me playing where I am right now and the progress I've made versus starting all over from the beginning, y'all would actually rather see how far I've made it in the game versus me deleting my data and starting over. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking the suggestion from y'all. So when I do these videos, there's going to be an amount of time between each video that I'm playing, because I've been playing this almost every night. Like, I'm addicted to it. But I play it really late at night, and I play for like an hour or two. So this is the thing is with this content, that means that there are going to be gaps in between. So if you're trying to see how to play a certain mission and you don't see that on my video and you're like, well, I don't understand, I don't see this mission, did you already do it? I probably did. If you are as far as I am in the game, then you will know what missions there were already. If you're trying to watch this to understand like how to get through the game, unfortunately this is not the video for you. This is the video to watch if you also play Dreamlight Valley and you just want to watch someone else who plays it enjoy the game. So anyway, we are working on the missing prince and helping Ariel. I will say it is, like I mentioned in the previous video, annoying to constantly have to find her in waterways, because sometimes she's in a corner in the water that I can't reach no matter what I do, and she stays there for a long period of time. So it's kind of hard to level her friendship up, especially since I can't say, hey, you want to hang out? And a lot of the other characters, you can say, hey, you want to hang out? And they'll follow you around, and they'll do certain tasks with, like, they'll watch you do tasks and help you. She can't do that right now, so it's a little hard. Leveling her up, because... So anyway, let's get down to it. So I am super jealous. I want to talk about something. Have you guys seen the videos of people who have already pretty much done everything that there is to do in the game, and so now they're like designing the different areas of Dreamlight Valley? I'm so jealous, and like this is how I felt when I was new to Animal Crossing. You know, Animal Crossing, you can design stuff, and also Stardew Valley actually. I see these creators make these like insane builds and areas with crafted stuff and rare stuff, and like every single game like this where you can decorate like your place, like your area that you're living in, it always astounds me the level of just insanity people are able to go like to create these beautiful works of art. And like, as you can tell, I'm still working on building one road, and it's in the back there, but I have to get enough gold. It's the Golden Opal Road, I think is what it's called, but it takes so much gold to, to make like one tile at a time, and it's very time consuming. But like, I see these people with like their islands already like beautifully decorated and decked out. And I'm like, I'm just dipping my toe in the water. I got this game as a Christmas present, so y'all already like went through the hype apparently of the Halloween event. I was not there for that. I have no idea what went on. I wasn't a part of that. I'm just in time for Christmas. So I'm trying to still get my footing and understand how the game works. I'm doing much better. At first I was frustrated because learning the gaming mechanics, how things work, understanding like how the game operates, kind of like the mind of the game is what I would call it. For each different type of game that is this lifestyle game with goals and objectives, with characters that you befriend, with Stardew Valley, Dreamlight Valley, and Animal Crossing, all three of them, yes, they have similar ideas, but the mechanics of the game and the objectives that they want you to achieve are not 100% alike. The only one I would say is alike for all three is fishing. There are different fish for different regions of, the game. So, like Stardew Valley and Dreamlight and Animal Crossing all have different areas where you can get different fish. There are not, there isn't one big body of water and all the fish are in that one body of water. There are ponds, there are rivers, and there's the ocean. That also is exactly like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. They also have that exact idea of rivers and, pond-like areas and the ocean. That is something they do actually all have in common, besides the general idea. But other than that, I would say that they all each have their own unique characteristics, and I in no way would compare the storylines of all three of these games to each other at all. They are wildly different storylines, but they have the similarities of building, cultivating, creating friends, all of that. That is there, and we all know that because we tend to be pulled towards this kind of game, making friends. And in Stardew Valley, you can actually date and marry characters, which is a very big pulling point because Animal Crossing is friends only. Dreamlight, as far as I've seen, I'm pretty sure it is friends only because I think it is supposed to still be geared towards children. And while a lot of us adults are playing, I'm very certain there are children who play this game, and I don't think they were marketing this 100% towards adults. So I don't think that dating is in this game or ever will be. But I will say that that is a big, continuous pulling point for Stardew Valley is that you get to date the characters and marry them. But anyway, I love the different parts of this game. I will say that Disney is very, very smart. They are doing something that is different in a little bit of a way from at least Stardew Valley, and not 100% different from Animal Crossing, which is, I would say almost, they kind of, I'm not saying they copied, but they are doing something similar to Animal Crossing in one way, which is they aren't introducing all the characters that are ever going to be at once. Now, Animal Crossing New Horizons, as far as we know, and we've been told there are no more updates, we may never get anything again, but they did introduce new characters, and they did introduce them, like, they did the collab with Sanrio, they did the Sanrio characters you can only get using amiibo cards, and then they also did 2 new characters that were in the game that you didn't have to pay for amiibo cards for, which was 2 different characters, Ione and Shino. So Dreamlight Valley is doing something like that, but on a big scale. If you guys are playing, then you know when you walk in the castle and you count the doors, there are a lot of doors, and you can only access so many at a time. Now, I have gotten up this spoiler, because this is not a channel to learn from, this is a channel to hang out on. Spoiler, I have gotten Woody, and I have gotten Buzz Lightyear, and I finally today got Stitch, and I am so happy about it. I've been very, I just want to get this little guy. But they make you wait in real life days. 5 days in between each sock you find in order to get him unlocked. So they are doing something very, very smart here. They are using time to their advantage in order to keep you wanting to play. So, like, a lot of the characters are locked, and if you unlock all the areas of Dreamlight Valley, which you can do, you can unlock every single area of Dreamlight Valley. There's none that is permanently locked until a release or something. You can unlock every single one if you weren't already aware of that or you hadn't gotten that far. I just today got the Forgotten Land unlocked. Now, if you don't want to hear about the Forgotten Land, I just caution you, skip this part, but here's what I've found. So the Forgotten Land, I thought when you have an area that is locked, it is in gray or, close to black. Like, it's obvious it's locked. That's how they show you you're not in that area yet. Then when you unlock it, it brightens. So I thought the Forgotten Land was an extension area of the Sunlit Plateau. Even the name of it, Forgotten Land, it very much like just seemed like it was going to be an even darker version of Sunlit Plateau, and I thought it was going to be like an extension of the whole Lion King thing. That's what I thought it was supposed to be. I don't know why, because each of these different areas is for different, type of characters. Although I think what did make me think that was Forest of Valor and Frosted Heights are essentially part of the same story, unless they didn't take both of those ideas from Frozen, because my understanding was they were. Forest of Valor and Frosted Heights, the design for the land looks exactly like Frozen. The only other movie I could think of that they may have taken, not Forest of Valor, but Frosted Heights from, would be Beauty and the Beast. But I'm thinking specifically the Christmas movie special, Beauty and the Beast. The one where it's like the winter. And I don't remember the name of, I guess they call him Maestro, the big organ, scary organ. That movie scared me as a kid. But they have to like defeat the organ that like controls the castle, and it's a Christmas special movie, and I think it had the original voice actors. But that's the only other movie I can think of that would have inspired Frosted Heights. But Frosted Heights and Forest of Valor seem to both be from Frozen. So that's why I thought Sunlit Plateau and Forgotten Land would be adjacent to each other, like two things from the same fandom. But here's the thing. So when you go to Forgotten Land, there is a pumpkin house, and the ground itself is dark, like purple, and everything is very dark. When you pull up the map to look at the map of Forgotten Land, the map is more like cartoonish, like one-dimensional looking. That's how they have the map drawn, like a real map. And the way that the designers for this game sketched out Forgotten Land, I have seen multiple guesses about who is living in the pumpkin house because it's locked. You cannot get inside of it. I've seen many people online guess about which characters it could be. Now, I do agree, Cinderella is a good guess because of the pumpkin carriage. Someone also said it could be the fairy godmother, also very good guess. The one that makes the most sense to me, because if you pull up your map and you have Forgotten Land unlocked and you look at the color coordinating design for this, which I used to be a graphic design major in college, one of the biggest things for me when I was studying computer art was recognizing patterns with an artist and an art style. To me, Forgotten Land most seems like if this is a reference to the Pumpkin King, Jack Skellington, because if you didn't remember, that Jack Skellington is a part of Disney. Disney was in charge of that movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas. It is owned by Disney. So that Tim Burton movie would fall under Disney, which means that they could bring him in as a character for this movie. Now, I think something people may have not considered is it could also be Sally in the Pumpkin House, because she is technically, she's with the Pumpkin King. She's the Pumpkin King's love of his life, and I think it's possible it could be her. But I think the most reasonable guess, based on the style of the house, is a pumpkin, and he's called the Pumpkin King. And if you look at the coloring of the map for Forgotten Land, look specifically at the edging for the Forgotten Land. So it's purple, which purple is a very prevalent color in the movie. But look at the drawing style for I don't know if you'd call it like the rock formations around Forgotten Land, but it looks like rickety, like stone or wood, and it's in gray. Do you guys remember the houses from The Nightmare Before Christmas, how it was all rickety, curly, and gray? This style of map, the way they have stylized the Forgotten Land on the map, is very, very reminiscent of the different elements from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And my hypothesis is that it is Jack Skellington that's in the house. I think if you even go up to Forgotten Land and look around, there are some indicators that this may very well be who is going to be the next character eventually. Now I'm really surprised because I saw most of the speculation was that this area would be unlocked for Halloween, and to my knowledge, or maybe I'm just not far enough in the game, the house is still locked unless there's a mission I need to do, a quest I need to do that would unlock it. But I don't think that's true, because everything I have seen, no one has said they were able to get into it yet, even after Halloween was over. So I don't know. I kind of wonder, since The Nightmare Before Christmas is considered a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie, I'm wondering if you're going to wait until Christmas to unlock the house for everybody. That is now, I know Disney has been very good about being tight-lipped about who their next characters are going to be that you'll be able to unlock. Now, the newest ones we have are Woody and Buzz, and then Stitch. But I think, honestly, that at least from my eye, the stylized way that they have the rocks are completely different from, if you look at the bordering of all the different like rock formations surrounding the different places like Glade of Trust, Peaceful Meadow, the Plaza, Forest of Valor, Frosted Heights, they have a little bit of a similarity to Forgotten Land. But Forgotten Land is the most like stylized version of all of them. I just don't have a way to describe it to you, but if you pull up references of the houses from the movie and compare it to the border lines for Forgotten Land, it really would remind you of it. And I could be completely wrong. We might get surprised and it may be the fairy godmother Cinderella, and it's a reference to the pumpkin carriage. There's no solid way to know, but just from the artwork for the map, I'm placing all my bets on Jack Skellington. That is who I think it's going to be. So anyway, I just thought it was worth mentioning because I'm very excited to see who it's going to be. And if it is Jack Skellington, there's a higher chance that we will get to see that character on Christmas. I have a sneaking suspicion that that's going to be their little Christmas present to all of us, and that house will be available on Christmas or after Christmas, either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I have a feeling that the house is going to be unlocked one or two of those days. Now, I could be 100% wrong. I don't know, because they're being very careful not to say anything, but I'm hoping that is true, because that would coincide with the movie, and I will say if that house is unlocked on Christmas, then I'm like 95% sure when I walk into that pumpkin house it's gonna be Jack Skellington, because that would just be, it would all tie in, if you get what I mean. But anyway, back to helping Woody. So Woody's little carousel is broken, as you can see, and we're trying to help him. This is not honestly how I imagined his house would look. I'm really surprised, and if you saw the one interaction with him, he even says, wow, like a carousel, like thingy, like this is not how I thought my house would look like. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, like I was expecting you to have like a cowboy, like Western themed sheriff office and not a carousel, but it's still cute. It's still cute. And if you guys saw in the one reference photo they had of his carousel, it showed it on this very location of the beach, which is why I moved his carousel to the beach right in this area, even though it doesn't, to me, make a lot of sense. But I don't know. I feel like keeping the integrity of the game, so to speak, like if there's a specific place houses are supposed to be, and join me next video. So anyway, for that. Oh, crap. Wait, I forgot something. Sorry if I cut off there, guys. I just meant, for Woody's carousel, it's not 100% done. So I just meant join me next video to like get his carousel 100% up and working. It is still not 100% up and working. But my brain leaps around. My main point was like, you'll have to join me in the next upcoming videos to see it 100% done, because the inside still has the different items like sparking and like not working right. That is the one thing that I have to level his friendship up even more in order to unlock the ability to keep working on it. So that is the thing with that. So that's the one thing. So we are going to fix his house, or not his, it is technically his house. We're going to fix his house, but I already looked up online, like, all the upgrades his carousel needs, and this one that we're doing right now is not the final one, which is why I said you're going to have to join me next video, but I shouldn't have said that so abruptly. I now realize this sometimes, like, I think that I'm making coherent sense when I'm talking, but my brain is already, like, 2 leaps ahead of my mouth, and so sometimes it doesn't 100% make sense, and I'm so sorry that I, like, threw that in there so quickly. But what I'm trying to say is that it's probably going to be next video before we get it 100% built, because I thought, like, okay, is this it, or like what's after this? Apparently this thing that we're doing to help Woody is not it for his house, which is kind of a bummer because it's a lot of work, but it's alright. I think it's funny and also very useful that they don't close these biomes or seal the doors once you're done. Like, you can still come back and visit this little like slice of their life, and you can still get useful items from it. I think that's so cool, because they could have easily just been like, alright, you got the characters, and then the doors are sealed and you can't use them anymore. But no, they found a way to make every bit of this game useful and continue to like make areas that you can work on, which I think is so cool. I will say the one thing that drives me a little bit crazy is how many updates you have to do to your tools. Watering can, I haven't 100% got that done. I still have to work with Merlin because I'm supposed to be able to use the watering can to melt the like night mushrooms, I think is what they're called. I don't remember. But they're just as bad as the night thorns, and I don't have my watering can all the way updated. But the pickaxe and the shovel are constantly getting updated and constantly getting new things added on to it. So, but anyway. If y'all have a favorite part of this game, or you do have any questions, I can totally answer questions. Like, if I haven't shown in a video a quest that you really need help on, you can still comment down below and be like, you know, hey, you're this far in the game, I'm stuck on this one mission, it looks like you're already ahead of me, how do I do it, or like, where do I need to go because I can't find what I need. And if I can remember, because I have a really bad memory, I will happily tell you, like, okay, this is where I found it and this is what you have to do. I more than happily will help with that. But I'm mainly just here to enjoy the game with you guys and talk about the different features that I find interesting. Also, I will say I'm super embarrassed. So you see these trees? I thought, I feel so stupid. I thought those trees were almond trees, and apparently they are cocoa trees, cacao trees. Isn't that how you say it? Cacao? Cocoa trees? They're cocoa trees. Anyway, very embarrassing, but those are cocoa pods, not almonds, and I feel really stupid because almonds would definitely not be that big. But yeah, I found that out by getting dreamlight for gathering cocoa beans, and I was like, why did I get dreamlight? I did not. Where's cocoa beans? I remember thinking, where am I gonna find cocoa beans? And then I saw I got dreamlight for gathering them. I'm like, where did I get these? And I look at my inventory, and all this time it's not been almonds, it's been cocoa. I feel really dumb. All this time I was thinking, like, even when I was like cooking or like baking in Remy's kitchen, I was like throwing what I thought was almonds into the salad, thinking, oh, this makes sense, and now I realize I've been throwing essentially chocolate into it. Sometimes I give myself a headache. Anyway, I keep thinking like that Wally's garden is gonna be like the stands that Goofy has, and like I think Goofy only needs 3 updates, like the first, the second, and the third. The last one's 25,000, I think. But no, every time I update Wally's garden, there's still a sign to call Scrooge to update it again. I'm like, so yeah, I continuously have to keep updating Wally's garden. Because I just I'm someone that likes to get everything done and be like, okay, I can cross that off my list, but I can't cross that off my list because it keeps needing more updates to get more produce, I guess. I guess the point of Wally's garden is to have every single produce item in the game available for the player. I'm pretty sure that's the whole point. Is like, if you need a specific vegetable or whatever for like a dish you're making or whatever, you can get it in Wally's garden if you don't have one growing, because there are a ton of different plants in this game, and it is not reasonable to expect the player to plant every single seed available and constantly have tons of it available. It's just not, unless you're just the farmer in every one of these kind of games, and so you just spend all your time cultivating produce. But most people want to do the adventure portion of this game, so it's not reasonable to expect players to just have every single produce ready to go. So I do appreciate Wally's garden so that you can get every single item available, at least one of each. You know, you're not going to get multiple, but one of each. It helps. But it's only once a day. So at the beginning, when I first got Wally's garden, I used to pick all the produce out of it every day, and then I would screw myself over by selling it. And then later I would realize I needed it. The thing is, I think it takes a full 24 hours for his garden to grow back, because at least for me, I will play one night and then it won't be available until the next night. So yeah, I would just caution you. And also, another thing that I learned, or maybe it might just be like a myth that I'm creating and not an actual fact, but for me, when you need fiber, which you get fiber from seaweed and using your crafting table or Goofy's crafting table, please make sure that like you're using the rivers, the like streams, streams or rivers or whatever they're calling it, instead of like the ponds or the ocean. I don't know if it's really just coincidence and maybe, you know, it's just like just a coincidence, but every time I use a stream/river to look for seaweed, instead of the pond or the ocean, I don't catch fish like every other time. Because when you need a bunch of seaweed, you want to just catch it and catch it, but I was catching like fish every time I would fish in the ocean. Also, if you're trying to get seaweed, do not aim for the bubbles. You only want to aim for the ring bubbles if you're trying to actually catch a fish. Seaweed, don't aim for the bubbles. That's another thing that I have learned, is that I'm not going to get seaweed if I aim for the bubbles. I'm only going to get fish. So don't do that. Don't be dumb like me and spend hours trying to catch seaweed and keep catching fish. Because everyone says, use the bubbles to fish. What they mean is catch fish. Seaweed, don't do that. So, I have not decorated anything really, as you guys can see. I am very slowly making progress on my little road because I want to replace this gravel road. Please? There's nothing wrong with gravel, but I just want all the roads to be that really pretty gold opaque road. Just very Disney princessy. I really want it.
So long, partner.
At least in this area. I don't know about other areas, but Peaceful Valley, I really want the golden opal road.
Hey, over here.
Hey, there is my favorite demigod. Alright. Oh god. The way Woody runs, it just cracks me up. The way he's just frantically running like he's in one of the Saw movies, it gets me. I'm just following this tiny toy who's running for his life. And this poor carousel looks kind of creepy, honestly.
Hey.
With the way it's like falling apart.
Huh?
Oh boy.
That's great.
Yep. We gotta go fix this now. Oh, Woody. Oh boy. Yeah, you guys can see what I mean about it being like... This is just not Scream Woody to me. This is very... This is not Woody. Like, this is very carnival-esque. But, like, they must know that fans would be confused that this is his house. Because they gave him dialogue when we talked about his house being like, this is my house? Like, I didn't think this would be my house. I thought my house would be something to do with cowboys. And like, and then he says, I suppose there must be some reason why I lived here because it, quote unquote, is special according to like who says it's special? Merlin or someone says that it's very special and magical. But yeah, this is not the vibe of Woody at all. Like the popcorn stand, this is like carnival. This house would be more suited really for Dumbo. Like this would, if you told me this was Dumbo's house, I would 100% believe you. This definitely would be Dumbo's house because Dumbo lived in a circus. So, I don't know. Just doesn't make sense for Woody for me. But like, obviously, like I said, I have not 100% finished fixing it yet because my friendship level with him is not at 10. I'm still working on it. I'm trying to get every character leveled out. And, you know, every time you level them up, they give you a new quest. So, I'm going to circle back to him, but I am helping him with this one thing. And then I'm going to move on to different characters.
He's not going to believe me.
Things. Oh, which, by the way, did I already mention that like cave right there that I'm next to is definitely a reference to Atlantis? If you guys go in it, which you do have to kind of towards the beginning of the game, you have to go in that cave for a quest. If you just even look at the statues in there it and the bottom of the cave is 100% a reference to Atlantis. And so I'm really, really hoping that it's not just a cute little feature and it is we're actually going to have Kita in the game. Kita was like my like gay awakening. Kita is amazing. As a bisexual woman, I feel like she was one of the biggest influences on me. Like, not influenced me, but like I looked up to her, and like there was something else too. It was like, it wasn't just that I admired her, but and it wasn't just that I wanted to be like her, like be strong, have good leadership qualities, be confident, be inspiring. I realized I wanted someone like that in my life, like as a partner. And that was kind of like what opened the thought process for me when I got older, and actually had the ability to think about things clearly and be like, oh, so it isn't just that I want to be all these different women, it's that I actually want someone like that in a partner, and I actually like women. So there you go. But Kita is amazing. She is so strong, so confident, so brilliant, and absolutely beautiful, of course, but she has a beautiful mind. And she's so different from a lot of the Disney princesses. She's not even just a Disney princess, she's a Disney queen. The sad thing to me is that even though Kita is definitely a Disney princess, they never ushered her into the Disney princess, like, entourage. You know what I mean? Like, when you think of all the main Disney princesses, you usually think of the wallpaper of all of them standing next to each other. Kita has never been included. And, like, technically, even the funny thing to me is Mulan is one of the most recognizable Disney princesses, but she's not even technically a princess, which I love that she's considered one. I love her. I think she's inspiring, but I don't understand why Mulan gets to be a Disney princess, even though she's not technically a princess, and Kita, who really is not just a princess but a queen, is not allowed in the lineup of those famous princesses. And she's been around a long time. I really, really hope that they introduce her. And another sad thing is, like, Moana, she may be from a different region, but she's an island girl who is strong, and she's a leader, and she helps her people. Like, there are so many similarities to her and Kita, and it breaks my heart that Moana was instantly, like, initiated as a Disney princess, but Kita will never get the recognition, and I don't know why Disney does not want her as a Disney princess. I don't get it. There's nothing about Kita that is embarrassing or unsightly or not something a little girl should look up to. She has a lot of the same qualities and same background as Moana. Now, the difference is that Moana has real, mythology behind her story. Like, as far as the demigod and the goddess go, they are based off of real gods and goddesses for that region that she is from. And Hawaii is a real place, and the islands that Moana is from, it all comes from real inspiration. And Atlantis is very fictional. We don't know if Atlantis 100% ever was real. There's many different people that claim to have found Atlantis, ruins of Atlantis in the ocean, but the problem is there were many different civilizations that fell to ruin, and there are many, many areas in the area where Atlantis is said to have been that have ruins from cities. So I don't know that we'll ever know the truth, but they have. Kita has very indigenous features. Kita does not have what I would call like a Grecian white woman figure. Like, she doesn't have the typical like Grecian nose and Grecian features. But anyway, gotta go and see you guys next video.